Hi guys and welcome back to the Red Mist podcast with me Seshadri and welcome to raw reactions from the Carabao Cup 4th round game between Liverpool and Arsenal at Anfield. Yes, we are meeting again against the very team that we beat in the Premier League this past weekend. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the same game. It could be a very, very different game. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Unfortunately, there was no match preview because honestly, like I said at the end of the last episode, I really didn't feel like there was a point to me doing another match preview of a Liverpool Arsenal game because we've already done it for the Community Shield, we've done it for the last Premier League game, and honestly, in the span of 4 days, there's really nothing that could be added on. A couple of other things though. The Champions League draws were today, and Liverpool's group has Ajax Amsterdam, FC Midtjylland. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I call it Midtjylland, but honestly, I'm 100% sure it's the wrong pronunciation. But FC Midtjylland from Denmark and Atalanta Bergamo from Italy there in group. Hopefully, it should make for an exciting group stage. But more on that later. We've got another Champions League episode planned, so I'll deal with that at that point in time. Right now, it is Cup time. It is Carabao Cup time, and it is Liverpool against Arsenal. But before we get on to the match preview itself and what I think is going to happen in the game, let's just talk a little bit about one of the things that I missed out in the last game between Liverpool and Arsenal, and that was the whole Sadio Mane red card. Like I saw Troops and a bunch of other people Arsenal people sort of saying it should have been a red card. Honestly, it's a yellow card. I looked at it again. It's a yellow card foul. There's no question about it. I don't think it's a red. If it was a red, VAR would have VAR was there. Like they did check it, and to be completely honest, they said it wasn't, and I agree. Like, and I'm not just saying this as a Liverpool fan, but I think even if it was the other way, yes, I would have been pissed off, but I would never have thought it was a red. So, and even if it was the other way, and if some Arsenal player had got sent off, like honestly, I would have been like, okay, that's a little unfair, that's a little harsh on Arsenal, but that's my saying on that. But yeah, back to today's game. I anticipate this to be a very, very different game to the last time these two sides met in the Carabao Cup. The last time we met, it was a 5-5 draw, went to penalties, and then Liverpool won. But this time, I don't expect that. I expect it to be a closer game. I expect it to be very attacking, yes, but I expect it to be closer. I expect Arsenal to be a little less defensive this time. And it does show in their lineup, which I will read out right now. So Arsenal coming into this game against Liverpool at Anfield are going with Bernd Leno in goal. A little bit of a surprise there. I thought Runarsson might get to start this one, but Arteta doesn't want to take a chance. Obviously, this is one of the cups that he definitely can win. Then you've got Cedric at right back. So Cedric comes into the team for the Portuguese right back. Personally, I think he's the best right back that Arsenal's got. Although Maitland-Niles, based off of form, could give him a run for his money. Personally, I do think Cedric is the best right back that Arsenal have got, so that's fine. I think it looks like Arsenal's going with a 4 at the back this time, so this may be something new for us to watch out. So they're going with Cedric. Rob Holding comes in as well. He was there in the side last time against Liverpool on Sunday, I think, on Monday. So it's not a change really, but he's been in decent form. He's been in good form. Looked a little nervous against us. Looked very shaky against us, especially playing up against Sadio Mane. He looked quite shaky. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But Rob Holding starts alongside Gabriel. So Gabriel, very surprising. Like I was very surprised he was left out of the starting 11 for the Premier League game, and he makes it into this one. I would have thought he would have started the Premier League game, but it is what it is. Arteta had his lineup, and it is what it is. Sead Kolasinac starts at left back, so I think arguably that's their weakest link. Doesn't mean he's going to have a bad game or anything, but if Liverpool were to exploit one of the defenders, I would say Kolasinac is probably going to be the guy most at risk of that. But in the midfield three, we've got Granit Xhaka, who captains the side, alongside Dani Ceballos and Joe Willock. Dani Ceballos obviously changed the game a lot when he did come on as a substitute against Liverpool, and he was the one who put Lacazette through twice, one of which was offside, but one of which was actually onside and forced a save out of Alisson. So Dani Ceballos is going to be the main creative force. Joe Willock, always like the guy. Plays very direct. I remember telling Sean in my pre-Community Shield preview that Joe Willock sort of reminds me of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in a lot of respects. The way the amount of directness that he has a good shot as well. He scored one of the more memorable goals from last season's Carabao Cup tournament. So, I mean, Joe Willock, yeah, he's part of the midfield three. Nicolas Pepe, Eddie Nketiah, and Bukayo Saka also make it into the Arsenal lineup. Congratulations to Bukayo Saka as well. He made it. He got his first call up to the England senior team. So that's a big, big step up for the youngster there. Totally well deserved. But yeah, Bukayo Saka, Eddie Nketiah, and Nicolas Pepe. So the front three is all changed. No Aubameyang, no Lacazette. Aubameyang, in fact, does not even make the team. So Runarsson is on the bench along with David Luiz, Kieran Tierney, Mohamed El Neni, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, and Lacazette. I'm a little surprised Reece Nelson is not starting ahead of Nicolas Pepe because Pepe looked very ineffective once he'd come on as well. I wasn't impressed by him. It just doesn't feel like he's worth the money that Arsenal paid for, not yet anyway. Whereas Reece Nelson, I feel like he's done a little more to justify sort of his inclusion so far. But, Arteta's the one who sees him daily in training. He gets to decide the lineup. It is what it is. But yeah, that's the Arsenal lineup for today's game. And then let's go on to the Liverpool lineup. So Liverpool lineup, host of changes. No surprises there. Adrian starts in goal instead of Alisson, who again is not even part of the team. Nico Williams starts at right back, so this again is going to be a big, big test depending on whether he goes up against Pepe or Bukayo Saka. Reece Williams, who impressed during the game against Lincoln City, he starts off alongside Virgil van Dijk in the heart of defence. James Milner starts at left back because Kostas Tsimikas has a thigh injury, so he cannot start, and Robertson needs a rest. Robertson is, of course, on the bench, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Marco Grujic makes his first start at Anfield in a long while, having been on loan outside of Liverpool for the past couple of years. And then we've got Curtis Jones as well. Attacking threat, very direct. Interesting formation in I'm trying to think what they're playing because it looks like a 4-2-3-1. It kind of feels like a 4-2-3-1 because Grujic and Jones are central midfielders. There's no question about that. Then you've got Harry Wilson, Minamino, Diogo Jota, and Mohamed Salah. So my feeling is Mohamed Salah is going to play up as the striker. Minamino is going to play right behind him with Jota on the wings and Wilson on the wings. So I think that's just my feeling. I think it's a 4-2-3-1. So both, I feel like we're trying out something new against Arsenal. Not entirely new because we did try it out against them in the Community Shield and it worked. But I just feel like this is, I don't know, like this is, it's interesting. It's an interesting experiment because in midfield, we don't have a holding midfielder. We don't have as much defensive cover. Curtis Jones and Marco Grujic, as good as they are, they're not as defensive. I'm not saying go play Fabinho, obviously, because, it's a cup game and we need him for the league and then the Champions League as well. But it does leave, especially considering Arsenal are playing Ceballos and Joe Willock, I think it does leave a few question marks in my mind as to how we might cope, especially with Ceballos, because on the ball, Ceballos is really, really good. I expect a very attacking game. There's no question. And I wish for a very attacking game because I am quite tired after a long day. So I am wishing for a very, very attacking game. Just so it looks entertaining. I don't fall asleep early and things like that. But it should be a very entertaining game, very attacking game. And before I sort of move on and sort of predict what I think will happen, let's actually look at the bench. So we've got Kelleher, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Gomez, Robertson, Origi, and Elliott. I actually thought Gomez would start and Van Dijk would be the one getting the rest. But it does make sense. Gomez did just come back from injury. So it does make a little bit of sense that Van Dijk is the one playing. How the game is going to go, I think it's going to be unlike the game on on Monday. In terms of, I feel like both sides will go for it early. I feel like this will be an attacking game. I feel like both sides will try and seize the initiative because you look at the starting lineups, you look at the lineups that both teams have put, both teams will feel like they have a shot at getting the early goal. So I think personally that, and Liverpool have made it pretty clear that they are going to go for it from minute one. They always do. That's just the way we know how to play. But what I'm saying is we've also made it clear just by the lineups. Like I said, our midfield, we've just been like, we can, we don't need a holding midfielder. Grujic can do whatever the best he can. Curtis can do whatever the best he can. And maybe Minamino tracks back, Wilson tracks back, that sort of stuff. But I personally feel like this is going to be a very good game. This is going to be an attacking game. This is going to be a game where Diogo Jota could make his mark. I feel like Minamino playing behind Salah will sort of relish that because if he is to play behind Salah, I don't know where exactly he's playing, but if he is to play behind Salah, I feel like he'll relish that because that's similar to what he played with Erling Haaland when he was at Salzburg. So I feel like he'll relish that. But I mean, this is insane. Like, I just feel like this lineup it's very attacking, has the ability to pay off with 2 or 3 goals, but it leaves a few question marks in midfield, especially, and does leave the possibility that Arsenal could end up scoring a few themselves. I feel like it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm predicting a 3-2 win for Liverpool. I'm predicting that Harry Wilson gets on the score sheet. I'm predicting Minamino gets on the score sheet. And I'm predicting that Mo Salah gets on the score sheet. As for Arsenal, I'm going to say Eddie Nketiah gets on the score sheet and Gabriel gets on the score sheet again. So that's my prediction for Liverpool versus Arsenal. 3-2 to Liverpool. But Arsenal, looking at the lineups, they will feel like they have a real shot at this. Like the Premier League lineups, you saw them and you were like, Arsenal's going defensive. Liverpool should be finishing them off. But this lineup, I feel like both sides are going to go for it. But yeah, those are my thoughts pre-game. It's about half an hour to the game as I'm finishing recording this. But yeah, it's been a long day, just hoping for a good game. And hopefully I won't be vexed. I won't be I'm trying to find the right word. Like I said, it's just been a long day, man. I won't be unduly, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. I won't be unduly angry at my own team, hopefully. And I'd love to be unduly joyful, if that's even a proper phrase. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say before the game. Hoping for a good game, like I said, and I will see you guys back again at halftime. For those of you who don't know the drill, Raw Reactions is pre-game reaction, halftime reaction, full-time reaction compiled into one episode. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. The feedback on this has been pretty good, actually, from a lot of people. And by the way, thank you guys so much for the listeners. I've had a total of 481 listeners over the first month, and that number's only been going up. So thank you guys for that, and keep the support up. But I really appreciate it. And that pretty much brings me to the end. I'll see you guys at halftime, and we'll see how the game's gone at that point. Right, boys and girls, it is halftime at Anfield, and it is still Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. So none of the goal-scoring exploits of the Premier League game have followed into the Carabao Cup game, but that doesn't mean it was a bad game. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting game. It did start off well. Arsenal looked a lot better than they did on Sunday. So they did a lot better. They created a few chances. They were pretty good going forward. I mean, they did well, and but I think the best chance of the half fell right at the end, right at the death, in added time, to Takumi Minamino. So it's a cross, I think, from Curtis Jones. Diogo Jota heads it. Bernd Leno at full stretch gets a hand to it, parries it straight into the path of Minamino, and obviously it's a fast shot. Like Jota's header was quite fast, and Leno's parry was also quite fast. So it came quite quickly at Minamino, and he did well. To be fair, it was actually a pretty decent shot. that he took, but it hit the crossbar and then bounced back out. But unfortunately, that's just the way things have gone so far. Very frustrating. He's had a frustrating game. There's just no question about it. He's had a frustrating game. I think if I had to pick out, let's start from the back. Adrian did amazingly well. Eddie Nketiah had this one-on-one which he thwarted with a single hand. He had committed down. It looked like Nketiah had rounded the keeper, but Adrian just getting a hand to the ball and just helping it on its way out. But so that was a very good save from Adrian. There was even another one which he saved, but it was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But Adrian did really well. Backline, Virgil van Dijk was fine. Reece Williams, few nervy moments, but the youngster did well, I think. Coped well overall. Had a few good interceptions, few good clearances. One time he did get caught out a little bit. And I think it was the one that led to Cedric's chance. And I genuinely don't know what Cedric was thinking. Honestly, I think he just blazed it over the bar or something like that. But or it was a corner. I think Adrian saved it. I don't remember exactly, but I think Arsenal had pretty decent chances. And I mean, it was a good game. Like it was a good game. Not particularly. He blazed it above the bar. It wasn't particularly, entertaining. Wasn't particularly like one side was dominating. It wasn't like the Premier League game. Arsenal did have their moments. They've been okay. They haven't been too bad. Liverpool started out slow, but then grew into the game. Nico Williams, he had a little bit of trouble with Bukayo Saka, but I think it's kind of held his own so far. But definitely, I think Bukayo Saka has been giving him a few issues here and there. He has been. But James Milner, Virgil van Dijk have been fine. The midfield, Grujic, a little bit of surprise to see Harry Wilson play in central midfield. Ideally, like I said before the game, I thought it would be a 4-2-3-1 with Wilson on the wings, Minamino and CAM. But it's a 4-3-3, it's a standard 4-3-3. And surprisingly, it has Wilson playing in central midfield. So unnatural position for him. So he's not been having the best of games, I don't think. But it is what it is. And as for the other two, Grujic and Curtis Jones has been pretty impressive, I can't lie. Not his best ever game. I think even his last year's performance against Arsenal, last year against Everton, I think these were better games than what he's had so far. But he's not been bad. Grujic, on the other hand, Grujic, however you want to call him, he needs to improve. He's had a few moments, but overall, like I think out of the midfield three, I think him and Wilson, they both need to pull up their socks. They both need to get their act together. They need to play well. And then you've got the front line, Mo Salah playing out on the right, as usual. Then you've also got Minamino playing up front. Minamino's been very, very lively. I can't lie. Jota has been. I think the front three have generally been. They've looked good. Jota's been very lively. Minamino's been very lively. Done a lot of hard work. A few frustrating fouls here and there. I think there was one out of pure frustration that he committed on Bukayo Saka, which he got booked for. Because I think previously he won the ball clean and then he was called for a foul. So I think that was a frustration foul. He was just sort of lashing out. Not the right thing to do, yes, but I feel like he's a young player. He'll get that mentality later on. But Minamino's been very, very good. Very lively. Unlucky not to score so far. So a little bit frustrating for him. And then you've also got Jota, who did really well. He obviously had the last chance, which Leno parried to Minamino. He also tried to set Grujic up for one, but Grujic kind of got caught. I wouldn't say in no man's land. The ball kind of came at him fast, and he was too close to his body, and he couldn't position himself right to get a shot, and he had to sort of put it wide. But so Grujic, like I said, he needs to do better. But Jota has been good on the left wing. He's looked good. And then obviously Minamino's been good up front. I mean, nothing much to complain, but nothing much to praise either, if that makes sense. It's a very neutral half. I just don't know what to say. I'm hoping for a better performance in the second half. Maybe substitutions will be key. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Substitutions will definitely be key, I think. For both sides, I mean, not just for Liverpool. I think for both sides, substitutions will be key. Maybe Divock Origi comes on, gives us a little bit of a spark. Maybe Salah moves to the center. I don't know what the changes are going to be. Maybe Origi comes on for Minamino in a straight swap. I don't know what the changes are going to be. But I feel like there will be changes if the game keeps going the way it is, because barring the first maybe 10-15 minutes and the last maybe a couple of minutes, it's kind of been a dull game. Let's be honest about it. Yes, there's been the occasional moment of excitement, but generally it's just been quite mundane. But yeah, that's just pretty much my take on the half. Nothing much to say, and hoping for a better second half, hoping for a win. Maybe it goes to penalty shootouts. I genuinely don't know. To be completely honest, I don't even know if I care about this cup as much. Yes, it's another trophy, and it'd be nice to win it. But if we lose it, I'm not going to shed a tear. So I'm not going to lose sleep over this. So, it's fine, really. I just don't want a disappointing performance. And to be fair to the lads, they haven't actually done that. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. And whatever the result comes out of this, it comes out. Just don't let your performance levels drop, boys. That's pretty much all I will say. Hoping for a win. But like I said, I won't lose sleep if I don't get it. But I'll be back again after full time or after penalty shootouts, whatever the course of the game may be, and we'll see what is what at that point. Right, boys and girls, I am back at full time, and from my tone, you can tell two things. One, I've had a long day and I'm very, very sleepy, and two, we lost. Now, I didn't think I was going to be as disappointed as I am actually at losing in the Carabao Cup. I mean, look, we played a second string lineup. Didn't really expect to progress, to be completely honest. If Arsenal played anything resembling a first string lineup, which they did, I mean, I'll be honest. It was a good game, like from the guys. Like genuinely, I don't want or feel the need to criticize too much. I think Harry Wilson was not great throughout. His performance didn't improve in the second half either. But other than that, Grujic was okay, improved slightly in the second half. Other than that, there's not really much. I mean, it was an okay game. It was a good game. People played well. Nothing exceptional. I don't think there was any exceptional performance across the board. Whether it was Arsenal, whether it was for Liverpool or for Arsenal, except for one player. I mean, Bernd Leno was insane. If it wasn't for Bernd Leno, the game should have been done. So many chances. Grujic's header, looping header, and then there were multiple saves. Bernd Leno was good. And to be completely honest, the only reason Arsenal are through, I would say, is because of Bernd Leno. Even in the penalty shootout, he was the one who saved Harry Wilson's shot. Which, by the way, that caps off a pretty miserable evening for Wilson. There are rumours that he will be sold to Burnley or some other team. I hope he is, not because of this performance alone. It's just, I don't see him being good enough to be a Liverpool first team player. Like, to even challenge. Like, you look at the level that Minamino is in, you look at the level that Diogo Jota is, or even Divock Origi, who, he came on as a sub, wasn't particularly great. Missed a penalty as well, so that didn't help. Look, it's just it's very hard to make out anything out of this performance. I'll be very honest with you, because it's a second string lineup. We don't really care about this cup, no matter what Klopp says in public, in the press conference. You can see clearly Liverpool just doesn't care about the cup. They don't care about the Carabao Cup. the bigger with the fixture congestion there is, I don't blame them. The bigger game is, for me, the away game at Villa Park this coming Sunday. So I don't blame Jurgen for saying, you know what, screw the Carabao Cup. We'll play the kids, we'll play whoever, and we'll get away with it. Whatever happens, happens. And to be fair, we played a second string lineup, played a couple of kids, all of whom did well. Special shout out to Rhys Williams, man. Played really, really well. Was very composed at the back, very, very solid. Had a few sort of rookie mistakes that you make as a youngster coming through, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing costly. I thought he did quite well in his performance. I thought he looked a lot more confident than Sepp Vandenberg whenever Vandenberg is played. But yeah, Harry Wilson needs to go. I'm sorry, Harry Wilson, this was a disappointing performance. Top to bottom, this was a disappointing performance. There are rumours that Burnley have tabled a 16 million offer, 12 million plus 4 million in add-ons. Falls short of Liverpool's valuation of him. But eventually, I'm hoping some sort of an agreement can be found. Because I believe Harry Wilson has the potential to play in the Premier League, but I just don't see him playing for a top team. Or at least I don't see him playing for a top team until he develops his game, which he's not going to be able to do at Liverpool. He's at that stage in his career where he needs first team football regularly. So, Grujic had a decent game. Good aerial threat. Improved in the second half, like I said. First half was sort of meh, but second half was decent. Other than that, nothing really to remark upon. Adrian came up with a brilliant save. Adrian's had a good game. Penalty shootouts are penalty shootouts. Generally, they don't favor the keepers, so I'm not really too asked about the fact that he saved only one. The fact that he saved one was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Good game. Can't really complain too much. I don't know, man. It's just very. We did well. Like we created chances. Bernd Leno was just good. Sometimes you just have to give credit to Bernd Leno and give credit to the opposition. They played well. Or more specifically, Bernd Leno played well. And our boys did well. Like sometimes it's just one individual performance. Sometimes if the opposition keeper has a game where he channels his inner, I don't know, like Gordon Banks or Lev Yashin or something, then you got to put your hands up and say he was the better man today. I mean, that's just it. But yeah, I think this victory is down to Bernd Leno. Nobody else. Could we have done better? Yes, obviously. There's always room for improvement, but I'm not mad. One, because it's the Carabao Cup. It doesn't really matter to us. Never has really mattered to us since Klopp's first season. But yeah, it is what it is, and we'll see. The big thing is, like I said, the Aston Villa game coming up. If you can't already tell from my voice, I am very, very tired. But I'm also, I don't quite know what to say because we did well. Like, yes, there was room for improvement, but I can't be too critical of a team that featured second stringers and youth players for the most part. Apart from the 60 odd minutes that Virgil played and the 60 odd minutes that Mo Salah played. So I can't be too critical of those guys. And apart from, the 20-30 minutes that Gini Wijnaldum played. I can't be too critical of them because, look, this is at the end of the day a second string team. So, it is what it is. And sometimes results aren't going to go your way. But they fought, they did well, they committed well. They had the effort. That's what I like. And, that's important. We have bigger things to aim for, unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we have bigger things to aim for. But yes, would I have loved to have won the trophy? Yes, it is another trophy, like I said at the start. But am I going to lose sleep over it if we lost? No. So, But yeah, that brings me to the end of a rather somber raw reactions from Liverpool's 5-4 penalty loss to Arsenal. If you guys did enjoy that, do let me know. My Twitter is Sesh1214. My Insta handle is Seshadri space S. So that's SESHADHRI space S. And my Twitter handle, like I said before, is Sesh1214. So that's SESH_1214. But guys, if you did enjoy that episode, do keep following the podcast for more content. I've got content on the Champions League group stages planned. I've got content on I've got a lot of content planned. Just keep your eyes peeled, all right? But yeah, you can find this podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and on Amazon Music. It's doing really well, like I said. I don't know if I said it at the start or if I said it at halftime, but it's doing really well. Thank you guys for all your support. Do keep listening to the podcast. I will see you guys next time for the preview episode for the Aston Villa game. But until then, this is Seshadri signing off. Goodbye.